Thank you for joining me today. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. If you'd like to see more, don't forget to visit the blog post and follow me on Instagram at Plan2Scrap. Usually when I do my planning, I try to rely mostly on my planner stamps, but this time I decided I wanted to use some stickers as well, and I wanted to create my own stickers. So I brought out my Xyron machine and a couple of stamps that I really like, and I'm going to make my own stickers. Naturally, because I was recording, I ran out of adhesive material in the Xyron, so I had to replace it. Luckily, it replaces pretty quickly and pretty easily. For most of my planner stamping, I don't use the Tonic platform, but since I'm creating image stamps to use as stickers, I went ahead and got out the platform. That enables me to stamp in the same spot multiple times and get a good crisp image. All of these stamps are red rubber stamps, so I flipped it over to the rubber side of the stamp platform and I removed the foam padding that I have underneath for my clear acrylic stamps. And I'm stamping out stamps that I'm going to use for multiple layouts this month. So you're not going to see all of them in the finished layout, but if you watch my Instagram, you'll see some of these stamps in future layouts. One of the great things about Distress ink is how versatile it is. So I'm using Stormy Sky, Spun Sugar, and Ground Espresso for this layout. And I'm going to use those colors in addition to blending with stencils and stuff, which you'll see here in a little bit. I'm using them to watercolor on my stamped images. Two of these coffee cups are from the Freshly Brewed collection from Tim Holtz, and the one that I'm coloring now is called Flourish Latte, and it's by Deep Red Stamps. I've actually sped this video up double time. In order to get shading on the distressed inks, one of the things that you can do is once the first wash has dried, go back over the shaded sections once or twice more and just add a little more color, and that creates the appearance of depth. I'm adding spun sugar to my stamped images, and it's a little bit hard to see, but it's a very light pink. It's kind of a baby pink, but it looks really good in real life, and I think you'll be able to see it in the photographs at the end. One of the reasons I did this is that I really love incorporating mixed media in my planning, but it can get kind of messy. If you use watercolor in a planner, it can cause bleed through and it can create a situation where you've got to do some covering up on the next week that you weren't planning to do. And most label paper, which is what a lot of people use for stickers, doesn't handle mixed media well. It doesn't handle watercolor all that great. But if you have a Xyron machine, then any scrapbooking paper that you've got, any paper that you've got, can become a sticker. Now, for the final touches on my watercoloring, I'm using ground espresso. Obviously, for the areas where there's coffee in the image, ground espresso would be your first choice of distress ink to go to, but I'm also adding it to a couple of places on the latte cup just as an accent piece. The last bit of distress ink here I think is pumice stone, and I'm just using it on the little spoon that's on the Flourish Latte stamp. I've got several different themes coming up, but this week's theme is coffee, so naturally, since I'm doing a coffee theme, I have to get out the splatter stencil from Tim Holtz for Stampers Anonymous, and I'm going to use ground espresso and blend some of that onto my page. And I'm going to start there in the center and blend it onto both sides, and then spread some around in a couple of other places. This stencil is the, what's it called? It's called Clocks, and I think the collection is, what is that collection? Okay, I had to go and Google it. It's the Salvage District collection by Prima, and one of the reasons I like this stencil is because you get so many different textures and looks all in one stencil. So I'm going to end up using both of those clocks, both of those clock faces, and two of those different kind of texture stencils. In addition to the coffee theme, which I've got going on this week, I also have a library theme, a whimsical theme, and a travel theme planned for this month. And if you would like to see those planners, don't forget to follow me on Instagram, which is @plan2scrap. Another fun thing to do with stencils is to just mask off different areas of your planner page and lay a stencil over the open area and just stencil some ink through there. And you can treat it kind of like washi or like header washi if you want to. But it's just really a kind of fun way to put a little extra texture on the page without adding any bulk. This stamp set and its sister stamp set from Sweet Stamp Shop. This one is the Basic Tabs stamp set. It's really become one of my go-to stamp sets, and my other go-to stamp set being the More Tabs from Sweet Stamp Shop. But they're just really, really versatile for planners, and I'm using Fern Green Ranger Archival ink, and I didn't quite clean it off all the way. There I am flipping it over to look at my monthly spread to see. I knew I had something later in the week. I just wasn't sure what day it was. It was Thursday. These stamps are the cartoon alphas from Recollections, which you can get at Michael's. And I'm just stamping out the 3 there for the 30th and 31st, and then figuring out which day is going to be the 3rd. That's going to be Friday. And then I'm going to stamp out all the zeros and finish out stamping out the dates for this week. That ink is a chalk ink by Versamark. I think it's called Versa Magic Pixie Dust. And I picked it up at Joann's on clearance a while back, but you can still find it on Amazon, and I'll have a link in the description below. I've said it before, and I'll keep saying it. I love these little social media icons by Sweet Stamp Shop. They fit into so many different circular stamps and stickers, and they look really cute even on their own. So this is a YouTube stamp that I'm stamping out in Fern Green, and I'm going to follow that up with a Facebook stamp, which actually matches Facebook's color pretty well, in cornflower blue. And then I'm going to finish that up with an Instagram icon in coffee. I'm probably going to change the way I plan my social media out over the week, probably sometime during August, but for now this works. And this is the Goals Plus Habits stamp set by Studio L2E. Had to stop and think there for a minute. And I'm stamping that out in cornflower blue and coffee. What I like about that stamp set is that each word in that stamp set is in there twice. Once as an all caps printed font, and then once in a really cute scripty font. And now I'm taking one of the bullet points from Mamby's To Do stamp set and just stamping out a couple of bullets on each day, because I know I'm going to have a couple of things that I want to highlight that need to get done each day. And if you want to see the after the pen spread, be sure you follow me on Instagram, because that's going to be showing up on my Instagram account. I did not used to be a washi lover. This thin washi from Mamby, this is their pastel thin washi. This has made me more of a believer in washi. It just helps me kind of keep the page a little visually organized without being too disruptive. I find a lot of the thicker washis to be just a little bit too much. Now we get to the fun part, and I am going to be fussy cutting these stickers out and placing them on my layout. Not everybody enjoys fussy cutting. I find it kind of relaxing, so sometimes when I'm just in the mood and I don't know what I want to create, I'll just stamp something out and then fussy cut it and create some kind of embellishment. Of course, one of the tricks to fussy cutting is how close to get to the printed image. I like to leave just a very narrow border around the image. That way I have a little bit of breathing room in case I cut too close, and I can trim off if I don't cut close enough. Here's the beauty of using stickers. I don't know if you guys noticed that there is a smudge there on the right side where the leaf green ink pad fell face down onto the page, but there is a little oopsie there, and by turning those stamps into stickers, I can just cover that right up, and you guys will know it's there, I know it's there, but nobody else will ever know it's there, and I'll forget that it's there eventually. So I just cut that cup in half, and now I'm placing the other half on the other side. And one of the things that I like to do is put things in the middle where they straddle the pages. That just to me helps make it look like both pages are part of the same artwork. And that's what I'm doing here with this coffee cup at the top. Now I did go back and do the same and punch the other side as well. And the last thing I'm going to do is something I do with scrapbooking a lot, and I don't do it with my planner very often, but that's to ink the edges of the planner, and I'm using Stormy Sky to do this. To me, this just helps the whole layout look complete. It adds a little extra something that you don't see very often in planners. That is it for this week's planner spread. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Check out the supply links below, and don't forget to visit the blog post and follow me on Instagram. Thank you.